This podcast is sponsored by music. Listen today. Welcome, boys, to the Poke the Poodle Podcast.
Is that the name?
Yeah, it is.
First episode?
This is the first episode of the Poke the Poodle Podcast, brought to you by Mark Mifsud. That's me. Today I'm joined by two special guests, Harry Sheridan, who's been on the show before, and Joe...
Hi, hello.
Gugino?
Yeah, that's how you pronounce my name.
Okay. Joseph Gugino. Harry is an artist, and Joe is a filmmaker. Harry, since you've been on the channel before, let's start with Joe. Introduce yourself to everybody, what you do, and how long you've been doing everything.
So I do cinematography and editing. Those are my two main positions that I try to apply for. Gotta climb the ladder, but I've been doing this for quite a while, probably about as long as you, because we're like the same age, right? You're 22?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we've been doing this for probably the same amount of time. But yeah, I finally moved out of my hometown, and I've been living in New York for like the past month, and I've been getting gigs here and there. You know, some are good, some are unpaid. Let's just leave it at that. But they're all important. And yeah, that's just been my days so far.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Harry, why don't you give a little bit about yourself?
Hello, I am Harry Sheridan. I don't know which camera to look at.
That's your camera, the one with the mic
This
on
one?
it.
Yeah.
Okay. I am Harry Sheridan. I am a grad student pursuing my master's in English in New Paltz. I am an artist. I draw dumb comic books. And sometimes I eat hot foods on the internet with Mark.
Yeah.
I've been doing all of those for my entire life.
Yep.
How long have we been doing Hot Plate now? I feel like it's been a while since there's so much time in between.
There's a lot of time in between each episode, more than we intended.
I think you've been doing this at least since like early fall.
Let me see the first episode. I think it was the summer.
I think it was over the summer when
Was
we
it the
started,
summer?
yeah.
I think so.
There's like
It's been a
a
long
long time in between each episode.
Yeah. So Planet Wings 4 months ago.
Yeah, damn.
So what is that?
That's like October.
Okay, so you were right. I thought it was longer.
Yeah, it definitely felt longer.
Like September, October. Because YouTube is like, you know, it says it was 4 months ago, even though it could have been 4 months and 29 days ago. So
Yeah, I feel like the tail end of last year has just been super long.
Yeah, it's been. I feel like it felt like a year in itself. Like
actually, yeah. Like I'd say in between summer and like first half of fall, it just kind of went like that for me. Because, you know, 9-to-5 jobs are an incredible way to waste your life. But the second half of the fall was like crazy fast for me. Like just holy cow. It's just kind of, it was Christmas before I knew it.
Yeah, I feel like 2018 in general was just like, I don't know, it was a rough year.
Yeah.
Let's give like our recaps kind of 2018, like the highs, and if we're feeling like sharing the lows too. We'll start with Harry and go ahead.
Well, in 2018 I graduated college, so that was pretty cool.
But now you're back in college.
And then a couple months later I went back to college. So that's been less cool, I guess. Yeah, I'm doing the masters. It's really difficult, but I'm doing it.
Hey.
What else did I do in 2018? I started working on a new comic book. I haven't made it very far, but I'm working on it, so that's cool. I lost like 80 pounds.
That keto diet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like absurd seeing you from like May, like tail end of May graduation to now. It's like you're a different person.
Oh yeah.
Now all of your pants don't fit.
Yeah, I really, really badly have to go clothes shopping.
That is the one thing about losing weight.
I have like a couple of pieces of clothing that fit me, and an entire wardrobe that does not.
Which is just,
yeah. So that'll be fun. I'm excited to kind of revamp my wardrobe, get some nice clothing.
And that's your whole recap, all of your ups. Do you want to share some of your downs?
I'm trying to think of my downs, 'cause I tend to forget.
Forget the bad.
Yeah.
I guess coming home was hard. The summer was like pretty lonely. Everyone was
Yeah.
really busy.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
Yeah, it's really hard going from living on your own at school with all of your friends all the time to moving back home and like not seeing anyone for like a straight month. So that was one of the hardest parts, I think, of this last year, was the transition from school to back home.
Now, what were some of the comics that you drew and wrote? Because I know you shared some on Instagram. What were like your favorites of 2018?
2018, I think that was this spring. I self-published a comic.
Tricky style?
Yeah, was it in?
That was the spring semester.
Was that in the spring semester?
Yeah.
Okay,
that was spring.
so it was in 2018. I printed a bunch of copies of my own comic book that I made, Tricky Style. I had 2 stories in it, one of which was Santa Claus fighting Hitler, and the other one was like about a little boy on Frog Island. I like those. I think I can do better. That's what I hope this next comic's going to be. I got big plans for it. Hopefully I don't flub it all up.
And Joe, why don't you share some of your highs and lows of the year?
So, wow, there was a lot of both, to very large, rest in peace microphone, to very large extremes. Is that camera recording, by the way?
Which one? This one?
Like my camera?
Yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, good. Just making sure. I didn't see you press the button. But
We'll edit all this out.
yeah.
So let's just restart that. Joe, why don't you share with us your recap of 2018? We totally didn't cut that out.
Totally didn't. No, everything went swimmingly.
We're professionals.
Deja
But
vu.
my 2018 had some super high highs and some really low lows. Like just like that gap. But I feel like I had a very productive 2018. Like for the senior capstone, I did it with like my colleagues and friends that I've known since like 2014 or something like that. And that was hell, but it was also amazing, and I wouldn't give it up. It's just kind of that duality. A lot of responsibility, but I feel like I learned a lot too. I got to shoot with a red, so that was really neat.
That's awesome.
I also got to edit with the red, which is both a blessing and a curse, because proprietary codecs they're not good. But graduation was good. Getting there was a lot. There were many days in class I'd just be like, I'm wasting my life. I just want to be working on like the film. I don't want to be here. Why am I learning about books? But then once graduation happened, I went home, and it's kind of like what Harry went through, where it's amazing how even though you, your family, and your friends are all in the same town, you are also never available at the same time. Yeah. So a lot of my summer was going to work, getting up at 5 in the morning, going to work, coming back home, fighting sleep so that I don't wake up at like 7 in the afternoon and the evening and being like, oh my god, I have to go back to bed in like 2 hours, so that you can get up at 5 without dying. And there's just a lot of other stuff, but it was building up to probably my biggest high, which was moving to New York in like November, I think it was. Yeah, it was like the day after Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Yeah, so, and I've gotten a lot of work since then. So my 2018 has been a roller coaster, but I'd say it ended strong.
And then we also worked on that anime lumberjack video together.
We worked on anime lumberjack, like almost right in the get-go.
Still in the works. It's still in post process right now.
The rough cut looked good though.
It does. It looks awesome, and I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, Joe did a really good job on camera.
Thank you. And you did a good job directing.
Thank you. But I don't know. 2018 was just like, like Joe said, I kind of feel with him very high highs, very low lows. Like, God, I can't even remember a lot that happened. I think back to like early 2018, and I'm just like, wait, that was 2018? That was this year?
Yeah, I feel like 2018 was a long year, and I have a short memory. like
I see Black Panther in like awards nominations, and I'm like, that came out in 2018.
I've already gotten nostalgic listening to the Black Panther soundtrack, you know, from TDE.
For something that happened in like the last year.
Right? Like, it's crazy.
You see, I don't get that nostalgia because I am actually sick of the Black Panther album. I listen to it so much.
I mean, fair, but also, come on, man.
Yeah, 2018, it was the start of like my freelance work.
Yeah,
like,
same.
Start of yours too. And it's like very tiring, but also pretty rewarding after a while.
I agree. I definitely agree.
But speaking to a lot of people in the freelancing business, like that feeling of it being rewarding kind of degrades after a while. It just ends up being tiring.
Yeah, because it's just a job after a while, and then you know I haven't felt this yet because like you said, we are very green. But if I was doing this for like 10 years, the highs probably stop being as like bright, and
That's the wide.
oh, okay, whatever. The highs stop being as bright, and then the lows become like way more obvious.
Yeah. But luckily, hopefully, like once we're all in New York, it'll be easier. And it'll be more relaxing because, like, we'll be able to hang out
Oh yeah.
a lot more. There'll be more nightlife. The problem, like, right now, especially in my case, I'm traveling 2 hours to the city for each job. If I have, like, a 7 a.m. call time, I gotta leave at
Oh, you have to leave like 4.
4. I have to get up at 4, leave at 5. And
Yeah, that's
it's-
unfortunate.
It's incredibly rough. But, 2018 was, like... It was where a lot of my best films came out.
Yeah.
What were some films you did, Joe? Like, how many did you do in 2018?
When we phrase that question, do we mean just like stuff we've worked on, period, regardless of position? Or
No, like made. Like, what have you personally made?
So
Like, had a major role?
for 2018, I would say that I've actually, this is like a weird transitionary period because, you know, like the whole like ladder like metaphor where you like climb back up and then you have to come back down, then you have to do it all over again for like, you know, school, then college, then work for your career. You just start from the bottom going back up. We're in that switching position where in college I was like, you know, director of photography and editor on our capstone, Cerebrum. And that like took 3 or 4 months or something like that.
Wow.
From like, because we got the script and then we trimmed the script and edited it, and then we shot and then edited post-production all in that 4-month time.
Wow.
So that was really cool. And also I'd say Anime Lumberjack was like, you know, I was director of photography for that, and that was really cool. Outside of that, I didn't do too much like passion projects. I have been editing a video essay that has taken me a long time because just free time is not in bunches. But I have worked on a lot of stuff like in the last part of 2018. Like I was a production assistant on like a low budget picture called B-Sides. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that too much, but that's all I'll say. Then I did another gig. It was not, I wasn't like on set, but it was for like a production company. So that's pretty cool. And I've been doing freelance work recently for another low budget picture that I actually signed a contract for. I can't really say too much about it, but that has been, Harry saw me working on some of it. That has been taking up a lot of my time recently.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully 2019 is a lot of that similar opportunities, and hopefully a lot better for all of us. But what are some like personal goals and like career goals you guys have for 2019? I don't know if it's off to a great start for you guys, but there's still how many days left? 360? 340?
A whole bunch.
A whole bunch. We've got many months ahead of us.
But yeah, what kind of goals do you guys have?
Do you like to go? Okay. I really just want to get a solid position because freelance is good, but I also want job stability. But I want to do it in video production. I don't want to like stray too far from that lane. That's basically the goal. I don't really have a position in mind besides just like getting a job and staying with it for a while.
Just want to climb that ladder a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people in like the film industry take a while to get there.
It's true.
I know of some like famous directors that didn't start until like their 50s or 60s.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But every time I think about that, I just go back to Orson Welles made Citizen Kane at 21.
That's insane.
And that breaks me down every time because it's like, what have I done?
Yeah, you already missed the boat.
Or even
you can't
just
make
a more
Citizen Mark.
Citizen Mark. Or even J.J. Abrams got really big like in his late 30s, right?
Yeah.
Like with Star Trek, the first one.
No, I think, was it Cloverfield?
That did come before Star Trek, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Cloverfield where didn't he make that when he was like 36 or something like that? Like considerably younger than most directors at that time.
Let's see. Cloverfield. Let's see. That came out in 2008.
Yeah, it came out in 2008.
J.J. Abrams' age.
Because he must be like mid-40s by now or something like that.
He's 52.
Never mind.
So he would have been like 42.
Yeah, something like that. Still like not super old as compared to like some of the directors out there.
Yeah, he started... His big thing was when he was 42, so we've got some time. We've got 10 years before we...
We got 10 years.
What about you, Harry? What are some goals you have?
For 2019, I think one of my big goals is I just want to continue doing well in college. I want to not fail out of grad school. That would suck.
You sure your goal isn't to fail out?
No.
Think you could be like one of those greats that just failed college but did amazing.
You could be like
Maybe.
Bill Gates.
Maybe I'll be Bill Gates. Hey, coming for you, Billy. Get ready. I'm going to make the next computer.
I think he's just like donating to Africa at this point.
Well, I'm going to do that too.
Do that too.
Donate to Africa now. all
Yeah,
of
you
your
can-
money.
I can donate like $1. I don't know. Donate to UNICEF. Is that a thing?
Played the Codename Kids Next Door game on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, that's one of my goals. I would like to finish the first chapter of my comic that I'm working on. We'll see if that happens. I'm very slow. I want to prepare because something I want to do after college is I want to like teach English abroad, because I think that'd be pretty cool. I want to prepare more for that and apply for that. So that's something I have to like really start digging into and preparing for if I want to do that.
Now, like with comics, it's different from movies. Where like with movies, a lot of the greats started very young.
Yeah.
Like in comics, aren't like some of the greats like weren't they older when they made like some of their greatest comics? Like how old was Frank Miller when he made Sin City?
I have no idea. I know, like, for example, like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby were, I think, in their 40s or 50s when they created the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Like, that's all. The comic industry is similar, where it's like a lot of the big guys get in pretty late. Like they really hit their stride in like probably their 40s.
Because you probably start as like an editor and go up to like it's a longer ladder than say like with film.
Yeah, because it's a lot of it is now it's you have to be producing your own work, and then it's not a matter of like applying for jobs. Like I guess it's probably pretty similar in the film industry where they have to come to you and you have to just be good enough.
Yeah, pretty much. For like especially those higher positions, like writer, artist, etc. You definitely do have to have like a portfolio.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty comparable. I don't know. For right now, I'm really just more interested in producing my own work. I'm not looking to like find a job in comics.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in creating my stuff on my own. You know, if that goes anywhere, that'd be cool. But yeah,
That's one thing I feel like a lot of people just get caught up with is like, gotta get there now. Like this year, I gotta be like famous or something. Like we have roughly like 60 years left in our lives. We can, well, I mean, ideally we have 60 years left.
I certainly hope so.
It's kind of that mindset you got to step back from. Like, I have time. I just need to focus on my thing now. I don't need to sort of just make that big leap immediately. It's something that can be taken care of over time. And I feel like the internet has kind of shifted that towards like, I need to be famous now. Like, I want to be Instagram famous now. I want to be YouTube famous now. I want to be a TikTok famous now.
I mean, that's actually possible. TikTok is a very young platform.
Yeah. I wish it wasn't. I hate TikTok so much.
I've never even used it. I don't know what it is.
I'm indifferent.
Is it like just Vine?
Yeah, it's basically Vine.
It's like Vine, but instead of making your own original content, you're lip syncing over music or a scene or something.
Yeah, that's like the popular stuff on TikTok, but it can also be like Vine where people like actually make their own original videos. It's like, it's early, so it's just like Vine didn't get to be where it was then. I can't really say now because it's dead.
Yeah.
But like at its peak, it did not get there overnight.
Yeah.
Vine in 2012 sucked. It was just not good. But then Vine in like a year or two from then was really cool. And then, you know, it just kind of like goes up and down. TikTok is in its infancy right now. So right now it is just like Vine clones. And then Mark's talking about the duets.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of like a gimmick. But it's getting its foot in the door, which is difficult for like a new platform to do right now.
Okay. Sounds cool.
Yeah. I remember when TikTok was like, it wasn't even like what it is now.
I remember when it was Musical.ly.
Oh God. But wasn't it at one point like a purely Japanese app that would have a lot of like stunts?
Chinese. It's a Chinese company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for being racist. Anyway, let's stop talking about TikTok.
Moving on from TikTok.
Sounds good.
So what were your guys' like, I know we already moved on to like 2019, like moving forward, but let's go back to 2018 for a second.
Back to 2018.
Since this is generally a movie podcast, we could also make an art podcast since you're on, Harry. What are your guys', we'll start with movies. What are your guys' favorite movies of 2018?
Avengers Infinity War. That was my favorite movie in 2018.
Yeah,
Easy.
that was definitely the hypest one. Damn, there were a lot of good movies that came out in 2018.
My personal favorite was Into the Spider-Verse. I know, Harry, you weren't so big into that.
Yeah.
I liked
it, but
I don't know. I just loved it so much. It like spoke to me.
Yeah, I get that. I still need to see Creed 2. That has potential to be like the number one. It's so good. Oh, Michael B. Jordan's such a great actor.
I still need to see the Rocky movies too.
Have you never seen a Rocky movie?
I've seen one Rocky movie.
Okay.
And it's like the last Rocky movie.
You did?
Like Rocky Balboa.
Damn.
Like the one where he's like comes out of retirement to
my God.
fight some like 20-year-old guy. Like that's the only Rocky movie I've ever seen.
Rocky's a classic.
I know. I need to watch them.
I feel like this is the exact reverse conversation from what we usually have. You're always telling me, like, you haven't seen this movie?
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I just missed out on Rocky. Like all of them.
You definitely need to watch at least Rocky 1 and Rocky 4. Rocky 3 is also really good.
I want to see the one where he fights Mr. T.
That's Rocky 3.
That's Rocky 3.
And then the Creed movies, in my opinion, are a lot better than the Rocky movies, especially Creed 2.
Yeah, I need to see Creed 2. I think I actually know my favorite movie. Like, just immediately that came to mind, Sorry to Bother You.
Oh, that's up there for me.
Yeah, for sure.
You see, I wasn't such a big fan of that movie.
You don't like Horse Dong?
I mean, I guess all bets are off.
I think that was it. It was just like, it went insane. It was so grounded in reality in beginning. Even like with the whole white voice thing, it was sort of grounded. But then it just, it like shifted to another movie, it felt like. And I know that it's more of a preference thing. Like, a lot of people love that. I personally didn't. I know some people who also weren't big fans of that, but I loved, like, I loved the message. I loved the acting, all of that stuff. The effects, the cinematography were all great. But just the shift kind of like...
The best comparison that I could make, it felt like a really long South Park episode.
Yeah.
Where it like starts out where it's like they're eating like lunch and ends with like they're like fighting like Satan, who like teamed up with aliens to like enslave the earth or so. It's like, it takes something really dumb and stupid and makes it even more dumb and stupid.
No, that's the thing. I don't like South Park.
See, there you go. Like, I love South Park. It's just that like absolute escalation where it's just like, why are we doing this? It doesn't matter. We're doing it. Like, yeah. I loved it. I think that's in my top 3.
Yeah, for sure.
That's Avengers, Sorry to Bother You, and Annihilation came out this year, right?
Oh, yeah, Annihilation.
Those are my top 3 movies.
Yeah, for sure. Annihilation was very good, and Infinity War is probably like one of the highlights of this year for sure. I'm just thinking like original movies of 2018, like just standalone projects. Yeah, probably Sorry to Bother You, but Infinity War, that's like probably like way up there.
I have to have an artsy movie in my top 3 of the year. Unfortunately, I'm very torn on it whether I wanted to like have it in my top 1 or not, because for the longest time it was my number 1 until Spider-Verse came out.
Which one?
Roma.
I don't know what that is.
I've heard of that movie.
It just came out. It came out on Netflix in December. It's by Alfonso Cuarón. It's a purely Spanish movie.
Okay.
And it's like a very slow movie until towards the end. But that's a reason why I was debating on whether or not to have it on the top. Because I generally like very like exciting, thrilling movies. That's why I love horror movies so much. But it was just an objectively fantastic movie. I know I hate using the term like objectively when it comes to movies because it's a purely subjective medium. But it was incredibly well done. The cinematography is fantastic because Alfonso Cuarón, he did Children of Men, which I don't know if you guys have seen.
I have not.
But I have heard of that one too.
That's one of my favorite movies. You should definitely watch it.
We can do a movie night.
Yeah, we can do a movie night.
I don't think it's a movie night movie.
It's probably not.
It's got a couple scenes that are, but it's one of those like pretty artsy, like art house movies.
Like a serious thing.
Yeah. Not like Suicide Squad.
Ultimate movie night movie. We gotta do another Suicide Squad.
I still need
night.
to see that movie.
Oh, Mark.
Speaking of Suicide Squad, that movie is actually the reason this podcast is named Poke the Poodle Podcast.
Why?
Because Poke the Poodle is a movie trope where a villain really, really wants to be evil. And so they try really hard to be evil. And there's a scene in Suicide Squad when I was looking at movie tropes that highlights this. And it's when the Suicide Squad is walking on the street, on the sidewalk like they do. And Harley Quinn just shatters a window and steals a purse. And Rick Flag says, "What the hell is wrong with you guys?" Harley Quinn replies, "We're bad guys. It's what we do." And that line right there is Poke the Poodle.
So this is really the Harley Quinn podcast.
Right. It's the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn podcast.
Good. Thank you, Suicide Squad. You did a great service today.
So yeah, I guess Suicide Squad is going to be the next movie night.
Yeah, it definitely is. Again.
We can do a double feature like we used to do in college with like the bad horror movies.
Oh yeah.
Double feature, but 2 Suicide Squads.
Just watch
Back
the
to
same
back.
movie.
One theatrical, one director's cut.
Or rather the director's cut.
Hell yeah. I'm in.
Even though the director's cut is significantly worse.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Do you guys have any more shout outs for movies for 2018? I know some of mine are like Upgrade, which was fantastic.
I know, I need to watch that.
It's in my opinion.
Yeah, like if we were to
Venom
talk
was
about...
not. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead.
Venom wasn't like one of my top 10 movies, but it was so much better than it had any right to be. Like that was, I think, the biggest surprise of 2018 for me.
I feel like that movie just splits people. People hate it. People think it's like underrated.
I love that it feels like it stepped out of 2005.
Yeah.
Like those kind of movies are 100% my aesthetic. I adore the like original Spider-Man movies for that reason. They're like the perfect like early mid 2000s cheese where it's like, and it just hit all those notes kind of perfectly for me.
Now, if you want like a 2018 Venom movie, Upgrade is like that. I posted on Facebook that's like Upgrade is the Venom movie we should have gotten, and it's 100% true. It is.
I don't know.
I
think
man.
Venom is the Venom movie we should have gotten.
Yeah, no, I'm on Harry's side. I haven't seen Upgrade personally, but like I don't think I'd want Venom any other way than like
Tom
what we
Hardy
got.
climbs into a lobster tank and has a seizure. Like
Yeah, like holy cow.
One of my I used to Bad Times at the El Royale was one movie that I wanted to shout out.
I needed to see that.
I saw it once. I loved it. It was my second favorite movie of the year. I have a whole list of every movie I've seen 2018.
Yeah, I just started. I'm gonna start doing that. You inspired me.
It's not that fun.
Oh, it's not gonna be.
Like to think about everything that's come out this year.
Yeah. But I watched Bad Times at the El Royale a second time, and I was thinking that this isn't as good as I thought it was. So I don't think it's in my top 10 of 2018 anymore.
Oh damn! Bumped down from 2 to like sub 10.
Yeah, and one movie that you guys definitely need to see, definitely an underwatched movie, is The Clove Hitch Killer.
Never
What's
even
that
heard
one?
of that.
It's this movie about this kid who's a Boy Scout who tries to prove that his dad is a serial killer.
Oh really?
It's one of the best serial killer movies since Silence of the Lambs.
That's a high praise because that's like top 10 movies for me. Like easily.
You would definitely love it. And that movie is my number 10 of the year. And Bad Times dropped down. Where did I put it? That dropped down to 14.
Oh,
Damn.
Yeah. Here's my top 10, and then we'll move on. The Clove Hitch Killer at number 10. Leave No Trace at number 9. That movie is fantastic, but it's very slow. I don't know if you're not a fan of slow movies, you might get bored, but I personally really liked it. And then The Incredibles 2.
Oh, good movie.
I loved it in theaters. You did. I've heard a lot of people not like it.
I had fun watching it. It didn't do anything. Like
Fair.
Fair. I don't know.
It felt
The
like
characters didn't really grow at all over the course of the movie. It didn't feel like that character designs were so bad.
Yeah, some of the new ones.
Like everyone that wasn't from the original movie just looked hideous to me.
They looked pretty bad, but I mean some of their powers are really cool. Like that one who can make like the portals.
Yeah, she's probably the best one.
Yeah, but I'm talking like visual design. Like I thought they were pretty ugly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it feels like a sequel.
Yeah.
That came out like 15 years after the movie came out. Like it's gonna be forgotten. No one's gonna remember Incredibles 2, and like the next 15 years from now, no one's gonna remember Incredibles 2.
I will.
Mark's gonna remember Incredibles 2.
I did think is the dad's name Bob?
Yeah.
I did think his character grew pretty well in this movie.
Yeah.
I think he had good scenes, but it's like, what did Dash do?
Dash
What
wasn't
did-
even in this movie. He was here for like 10 minutes.
Like what did Violet do?
Violet did have something.
Jack grew a lot.
Yeah, Jack
Yeah.
grew.
He got a new suit.
But ultimately none of these characters. I think the dad, Mr. Incredible.
He had the most.
He had an arc, but like Elastigirl was the focus of the movie, but I don't think she actually. She was the same character at the beginning and the end of the movie.
No, she was the same.
She just had a job now. Like
she
that
had
was
cool scenes, but
she had the best like action scenes in the film.
Yeah,
like easy. But I don't know. I didn't love it. I know everyone did, but
Not everyone. I have heard some people. But I'll just run through this list, and then because we have 20 minutes left, we'll go into the last topic. But after Incredibles 2, Avengers: Infinity War at number 7, Creed 2 at number 6. American Animals, number 5. That's like a documentary narrative kind of thing about this like heist. Upgrade, Annihilation, Roma, and Spider-Verse.
if I had to say 2 movies that like took me way by surprise in 2018, Venom is one of them, and basically for the same reasons. Ready Player One.
yeah, that surprised me.
Way
I really enjoyed
better
it.
than I thought it would be.
We're like probably like 2 of the 4 people on this earth that really
That actually
enjoyed that
liked
movie.
it. But like, I expected that movie to be hot garbage. Like, just not at all good. And then I came out like pleasantly surprised.
I thought it was hot garbage.
Here's the thing though, Mark. I didn't think Ready Player One was a fantastic movie. I went in with like absolute rock bottom expectations and came out like that was decent. Like,
And it's like, I feel like 2 reasons why that movie does a decent job. I feel like it had like it's a pretty standard like hero's journey story, but I feel like it felt like an 80s movie. Like it had that same kind of spark that like Back to the Future had, at least when I watched it as a kid. The second thing is that I feel like CG never ages perfectly. Mm-hmm. I feel like the CG in that movie will at least not look completely Uncanny Valley. Because like the idea is like it's this digital outside world from like what we know as the real world, and like all these freaky designs that would be really weird if it tried to be a real world fit because of like the narrative. Mm-hmm. And I think it definitely has, it's not the most colorful movie, but I think it has a very unique look. Mm-hmm. And like a movie is a visual art form. Yeah. And I feel like the visuals are definitely like one of the things that made me really like that movie. Also, what other movie do you have where the Iron Giant and a Gundam fight? Like, where else do you see that?
That's a good point. But anyway, let's close out with our most anticipated movies of 2019.
Before we get into most anticipated movies, can I just say my number 1 movie of 2019?
Escape Room.
It's Escape Room.
I still need to see that movie.
No, you don't. You absolutely do not need to see Escape Room.
I want to be
bad.
You do
not need to see Escape Room.
Well, see, okay. You told me not to watch The Book of Henry, and I feel like I missed out on a whole thing.
This is not as bad as that movie.
My friend. Oh wait, it's not Book of Henry. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm thinking of Turbo Kid.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Netflix movie that I heard is really good.
Okay. But anyway, Escape Room.
But yeah, Escape Room, number 1 movie of 2019. It's also the only one I've seen.
Oh, did it just come out?
It just came out, like, we just saw it, like, 2 days ago.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So, most anticipated movies of 2019. Harry, go.
Hold on, I have it written down. I came prepared with my top 5.
I'm going to look up a list because there's a lot that I looked at this recently, just like what's coming out. It's like, oh my God, 2019 is packed.
I'll just say my top 2 because we don't have a ton of time.
Yeah.
My number 1 is Avengers Endgame because I'm a whore for superheroes.
Of course.
And number 2 is Sonic the Hedgehog because that's going to be a train wreck and I can't wait. That's going to be incredible.
Okay, just quickly looking through. I have a couple that I'm really excited for. Wow, there's a lot of good movies in 2019. Avengers, I would say Shazam, Hellboy.
Shazam's going to be cool.
Very excited for both of those. New Mutants, I've been wanting that movie for a while, and I'm glad we're finally getting it. I've always wanted to try out the Artemis Fowl books, but like...
They're making a movie?
Yeah. It's a Disney movie, too. Huh. Let's see... Sonic the Hedgehog is going to be... I can't ignore that movie.
I can't wait, dude. It's going to be so good.
Like, I don't care, but I can't ignore that movie. Mm-hmm. I have to know. Mm-hmm. But, like, I'm just not.
Here's what I have on my list. I've got Endgame, of course. Captain Marvel. which after seeing the trailer for it as a preview, could go either way. It could be really mediocre, could be really good.
I'm just approaching it as like a stopgap for Endgame, personally.
That's all it is to me.
Godzilla 2.
Like American Godzilla?
Like King of Monsters.
Okay.
The new one they're coming out with.
Yeah.
That one does look cool.
Glass. That looks really good.
I don't know how I feel about that yet. I have to go see it. I'm going to go see that movie because it's the Shyamalan Avengers. So like,
also
I have to.
Jordan Peele's new movie.
Oh yeah, Us. Yeah,
definitely watching that one.
Dumbo. Dumbo looks really good.
Didn't the casting come out? And isn't like what's his name? Danny DeVito playing a character?
Yeah, it's got Danny DeVito, Colin Farrell, Michael Keaton.
Yep.
I am really excited for that.
And also Lion King is coming out this year.
That I'm not so excited for because it's just a remake of the plot of the first one.
It's pretty. It's got Childish Gambino in it and Beyonce. Come on. It's also got the Migos as the hyenas.
It's got Eric Andre in
It
it.
has Eric Andre. Come on. Like, it'll be interesting.
Also, It Chapter 2.
Oh, that's right. It's coming out.
Lego Movie 2.
I forgot about that.
That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Shazam.
Yep.
Pet Sematary.
I just saw the trailer. When we went to go see Escape Room.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were making a Pet Sematary movie. That looks really cool.
It does. Yeah. I'm hoping it's not a flop like most of that actor's movies are. The guy who's playing the lead, I think his name's like Jason Clarke.
That's his
Yeah.
He was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is like his best movie, I think. But he was also in Terminator Genesis.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah, I do remember that one. That's the one where old man Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Young
Daenerys Targaryen team up.
Jeez. I mean, I haven't watched any of them since past Terminator 2, personally.
I like Terminator 3, even though a lot of people hate it.
Yeah, that's like a funny movie. I've seen clips of Terminator 3.
I haven't seen Terminator 3 since I was a kid.
He's just like carrying the coffin while like firing a machine gun at people.
I remember that scene.
There's some funny lines in that movie. I just don't feel the need to see it.
Yeah.
Also, Detective Pikachu.
Of course.
That's up there. That's my like number 3 most anticipated movie.
That one I am genuinely intrigued by because like a realistic Pikachu movie in most cases does not sound like my cup of tea, but the way they presented this one has me intrigued.
It looks like fun. Also, John Wick Chapter 3.
I still need to
I
see
need
the
to see
first
John
two.
Wick chapters 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So good.
I saw the first half of the first movie. That's it.
Only the first half?
Yeah.
Did you have to
You gotta
leave
see
or
the
something?
rest.
It was I think we were I was hanging out with friends. I think Brian bought it on Blu-ray. We watched half of it at my house and then he left.
Oh, and he just took the movie?
Yeah, well, like I think he had to go somewhere.
Okay.
So like we watched half the movie and then I never watched anything else. Like I never.
Wow.
That's
Here it's got good action scenes.
Yeah, I need to get around to it.
Yeah, me too.
Also, Rocket Man, which is the Elton John movie. Which
Oh yeah.
I didn't like the look of that. I saw the trailers. I was not into that.
well, in my opinion, it's what the Bohemian Rhapsody movie should have been. It's what it looks like it should be. Also, the Dark Phoenix movie, X-Men.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
In how because that's gonna be the last Fox X-Men movie.
Yeah.
So like I'm definitely interested in that.
Hopefully it's
Interesting
better
choice
than-
for the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it's just better than Apocalypse. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. I think it will be.
There's this movie called Ford vs. Ferrari, which has Christian Bale, Matt Damon, John Bernthal, and it's like some historical drama. Looks pretty cool. Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah. Mysterio.
Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be good.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino's next movie.
Oh, he's making a new movie. That's right.
It's about the Manson murders.
That's pretty cool. I heard about that.
That's gonna be interesting.
Has one of the best casts of any movie ever. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Al Pacino, Timothy Olyphant, Tim Roth, Kurt Russell, Michael Madsen, Bruce Dern, Dakota Fanning, James Marsden.
Damn, I guess it explains why it took so long to come out.
Yeah.
No Sam Jackson. No Sam Jackson.
I don't think so. He's
Really?
He's probably just gonna be like a narrator or something, like he was in what movie was he just a narrator? Jackie Brown?
No, he had a character in Jackie Brown.
Kill Bill. He was just a narrator.
Yeah. He wasn't actually in Kill Bill. No.
I don't know what day that comes out, but I am so excited. It on Letterboxd it already has like how many 61 5-star ratings.
Of course it does.
Anyway, and then the Joker movie, which I was so turned off by like the news that a Joker movie would come out, but it looks really good.
Yeah, I've heard things about I've heard like stories about that movie that make it sound really, really cool. I can't really talk about them, but like from what people have told me, that movie sounds like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Star Wars Episode 9. I'm excited.
I'm not excited for that. I can't.
I have a lot of mixed opinions just because, like, knowing the build up to that movie where, like, the director of the Book of Henry was supposed to be the director of it, and then that movie came out.
Oh, Colin Trevorrow?
Yeah.
He did Jurassic World.
He did Jurassic World as well, and just, like, I have no idea what to think about Episode 9.
Well,
I don't care anymore.
J.J. Abrams is coming back to it, so
which I think will be decent. Like, I don't think that'll be bad.
he did a safe job with Episode 7, and now that we have the safe one out of the way, he is a very good director. Like 10 Cloverfield Lane, I think he did that one.
I think that was a different director.
Yeah, I think he probably produced that.
Well, he did Cloverfield, which was great.
And he did Super 8. Like, he has a lot of good ideas.
Yeah.
The Star Trek movies, obviously.
And I don't know. Half of The Last Jedi was really good. Half. That was the Kylo Ren Rey stuff.
Where they were
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say the casino.
That was the bad part.
I don't even remember the casino.
That was the useless part.
Episode 8 just
I don't
was a
know.
lot.
After like the last couple of Star Wars movies, I don't really care anymore. Like
The hype was
they
so
did a good
strong.
job of like destroying all the momentum that those films had.
I don't know.
I would say even after Episode 7 came out, it just...
Well, it's like Episode 7
Yeah.
came out, and I really enjoyed that. Rogue One came out, that was excellent. And then
Solo was great.
Episode 8 came out, and I did not like that movie. And then Solo came out, and that movie was serviceable. Like, it was a decent but ultimately forgettable action film that added absolutely nothing to the Star Wars tapestry.
It added like some small details, like it mentioned some characters that were killed off screen, like Aura Singh was killed off screen. They mentioned Bosk. We now have Darth Maul in the movies post Phantom Menace. So they could probably do like a solo Darth Maul movie, which would be awesome.
Yeah, but like...
They could have Kira return.
I don't care about Star Wars anymore.
I'm interested in what the Game of Thrones guys are gonna do for Star Wars. Like, but I don't know outside of that.
Yeah, the TV shows look awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for those. But it looks like we're out of time. Joe and Harry, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Harry, where can we find you?
Should I give my home address? Is that
I mean, if you want people coming after you.
yeah. You can find me on Instagram at, I think my handle is Harry Sheridan Art.
All lowercase.
Yeah. Someday I'm gonna plan on making a YouTube thing, maybe, but there's nowhere to find me there yet. And also in some of Mark's videos.
Yeah, check out the Hot Plate.
Yeah, Hot Plate's pretty cool. We eat hot stuff.
Yeah, and Joe, where can the audience find you?
Working on a YouTube channel, but for now, my Instagram is just Joseph Gugino, all lowercase, no spaces. I post there frequently. And yeah, that's like the main one.
All right,
What
cool.
about you, Mark? Where can we find you?
Don't.
It's probably all over your channel.
All right. Thank you guys once again for coming on, and thank you for listening or watching. I don't know where this is gonna go. Obviously, YouTube. I'm gonna try for SoundCloud, try for iTunes, try for Spotify. Spotify will probably be the hardest one.
Yeah, iTunes is pretty easy.
Is it?
Yeah, it's much easier than SoundCloud.
Okay. But yeah, catch the next episode where we have different guests. If you guys want to return, you're more than welcome to. Not the next episode, but after.
We're going to come back for every single episode.
How dare you?
You can't get rid of us.
You guys will just be in the background. All right. And thank you for watching the Poke The Poodle Podcast.
Bye-bye.